Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Fast Course Off-Road, and I have a good one for you, or kind of a concerning one, in the Jeep news segment. So roll the intro, stay tuned, you're going to want to see this. Okay guys, so as you can tell from the thumbnail, this is about the Jeep Wave program that FCA currently offers for its vehicles. So to lay a basis down for this right now, the Jeep Wave program is open for every single Wrangler, every single Gladiator. Grand Cherokee, you get your Jeep Wave program starting at the Trailhawk edition and then further expensive up the ladder. And then for the Compass, the Renegade, and the actual base name Cherokee, you only get the Jeep Wave program with the Trailhawk editions. So first of all, I'm sorry if you can hear the rain. I'm in my sunroom right now. It's the easiest place for me to record, so I apologize. It's very rainy outside today. I'll try to speak up for you guys. So what's going on with the Jeep Wave program is Jeep sent out this email, and I'll send it and I will show it in this video, that they are currently going to, due to unforeseen circumstances, expire the rewards portion. I might be misspeaking on that. But basically, they're saying anything that you get for free as being part of this program, they are going to do away with, and that is like free oil changes and free tire rotations and things of the sorts due to unforeseen circumstances. So I first of all wanted to convey this information to you guys and let you know that this is coming down the pipeline in case you haven't gotten that email yet, or for those of you who are thinking about buying a Jeep brand vehicle and were putting that into your configuration when you were thinking how much to spend on this vehicle. Now, I've gotten a couple text messages from people, and I got this email myself, and I was kind of concerned, and I definitely got concerned vibes from the people that were reaching out to me, which led me to make this video in the first place. So, I want to discuss kind of why FCA is making this move right now. Because obviously, we have the whole situation going on in the world right now, and that is definitely not putting people at ease. So you would think this is an absolute terrible time for them to make this business decision to essentially cut out free services for their customers, because you would think they want to build customers, and using those free services incentivizes people to buy their vehicles new and therefore have less service costs down the road. That way they can justify paying for a new vehicle as opposed to just buying a used car in the first place where they don't get those programs. So we know, especially if you're a member of the forums, that when it comes to pricing out new vehicles, the dealerships don't necessarily make a lot of money in the sale of new vehicles anymore, at least not like they used to. Don't get me wrong, it still happens, and you definitely still have those times when like the brand new C8 Corvette comes in and people are paying way above sticker, or the new Toyota Supra when everyone was paying 10 grand above sticker. Like all that stuff, yes, it happens. I'm not going to say it doesn't. However, the majority of what a dealership does to make money is they make their money from their service. They sell their product, and they might take an L on the product, and they might pay way too much in a trade. However, they're willing to take that L with the idea that you're going to come in and get your vehicle serviced through them. And where they lose money is guys like me and guys like some of the other YouTubers out here that go out and they buy their brand new vehicle, but they do all the work themselves. So like this Jeep Wave thing, doing away with their free oil changes and their tire rotations, and there could be more to it than that. They link in the email how to check your Jeep Wave account to see how much of your benefits you're actually going to lose. But for now, we'll just talk about the oil changes and the tire rotations, because that is a guaranteed thing that they do, and that is the only thing I've ever actually used from them in the past, and only because it's free. Otherwise, I'd be doing it myself. Now, with that being said, guys, these changes aren't going into effect immediately. So there's two dates floating around right now, and it is either when your Jeep Wave membership expires, which I believe is around 2 to 3 years after you purchase your vehicle. It might be a little bit longer than that, or June 30th, 2020. So whatever those two dates comes first, you have to use everything by, or they're no longer going to honor it. So we can theorize, based on how dealerships make their money in this kind of, well, the current climate we're in the auto industry, why they're making this move. Because I personally don't think it's due to the current world economic situation. I really don't. I don't think that they're losing that much money off of a couple oil changes and tire rotations to justify ending a program like this that incentivizes the sales of their vehicles. I think more so that the service itself is down. And I'm not going to lie, some of these vehicles are getting pretty dang reliable when it comes down to it. As long as you do your regular routine maintenance, they're not breaking down like they used to. It's like we had that era of the early 2000s where vehicles were decently unreliable and we had common issues. But now that everything's getting more digitalized and we're figuring things out and the technological era is taking those leaps and their bounds and they're going ahead, we're seeing a lot more reliable vehicles than we were in the past. So I think more so what's happening is that we can now assume that maybe Jeep's service isn't doing as well and they're losing money on that end, and that's what's causing them to end the front of this. Now, you can also beg the question of, well, does Jeep actually get anything out of the services, or is that more of a dealership thing? Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure on that, if Jeep actually gets a kickback from that. So that is also a potential where that could have nothing to do with it, and maybe it is this whole world economic situation that we're in right now. Because as we know, FCA, Fiat, Chrysler, the big owner, it's technically a merger, but we all know that Fiat owns Chrysler. They're based in Italy. Italy got hit pretty hard by this, so that could definitely be a reason behind all this. And we can now backtrack into what happened, I believe it was yesterday, where the average cost per a barrel of oil, I think, dropped below $5, which is unheard of in the recent past. So there's a lot of things going on in this world right now, guys, and it's going to be very interesting how it affects the auto industry, and especially the Jeep brand that almost everyone on my channel loves. I want to hear what you guys think about this in the comment section below. How many of you have new Jeeps that are going to lose out because of this? Like, maybe you don't mod your Jeep that much, and maybe you go and get those free services. I'm very curious to see how many of you there are out there, and then as well as maybe you never used it and you just do all your maintenance yourself. Leave a comment down on what you guys are going to end up doing. Are you going to go to the dealership and pay for them to be able to do your tire rotations and your oil changes? Or are you just maybe going to get the oil change and not bother rotating your tires and just buy tires more often? Or maybe, you know, you say screw it, you're just going to do it all yourself, or maybe go to your buddy's garage and get it done there. So I'd really like to see where you guys' heads are at when it comes to this issue in general, because this is kind of this doesn't happen often where a company like this takes away one of their programs that has been offered for several years. I think it's been since about the early 2010s the Jeep Wave program has been there. So I'm interested to see how this is going to affect the company as a whole and how it's going to affect their sales. And this might not be good for Jeep, because if you've known, Jeep itself it's one of the best sellers for FCA in general. They kind of keep the whole company alive, more or less. The Jeep brand is done extremely well, and if you look in Jeep's history, Jeep has been passed around from company to company of failing companies, but Jeep somehow has managed to keep its head above the water, and it's been the only one that actually made money for these companies throughout history. So are we seeing that right now with Fiat Chrysler, and is Fiat Chrysler going to go under? And if so, will someone else buy Jeep? And if so, who is going to buy Jeep? That's another huge question we have to ask ourselves right now. So it's going to be a very interesting time, guys. I want to see in the comment section below what you think about this whole situation. And if you please don't mind lightly clicking the subscribe button with your mouse or finger, I'd really appreciate it. Currently, I believe 92.3% of you are not subscribed to the channel who watch the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it if you subscribe. Like I've been saying pretty much this whole video, because I'm sounding like a broken record at this point, leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think of the video and what you think about this whole situation. It's kind of a interesting time for us right now, and I wanted to make this emergency video to show you guys what's going on with this and bring it to light. If you like the video, that goes without being said. And guys, I'll see you in the next one. We have some cool jet ski stuff coming up. I have some Jeep parts to put on, so don't worry, that's happening too. And due to this, I had a couple wheeling trips planned that I was going to video and finally get a couple more wheeling trips on the channel, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon now due to this whole situation. I'm working a ton of hours, so we're rolling with it, and we're just living day to day, guys. I hope you liked the video. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, it's that first day of first grade. That cute girl, your third date. That backpack, that snapback you've had since the third grade. The first time you got laid, the worst time you got played. It hurt, but you're okay.